Hello and welcome or welcome back. I'm so glad that you're here. So today we're just gonna dive right into your fear of being seen. This was a huge one for me because I've always labeled myself as being introverted or not wanting to be in front of the camera or sort of like just blending into the background. And I think the more that I just get to know myself and get to know who I am, I'm realizing that might have this shyness that I sort of labeled myself as might have been a label that was placed upon me rather than something that actually came from within myself. So that's huge, and I just sort of want to share a little bit of how I got through this fear of being seen, and how I'm still getting through this fear of being seen, because it's a daily battle. Like every single day, I have to sort of make an effort to put myself out there so I can fall in love with being seen. Like sharing your wisdom and knowledge and just like all that is you is so important in like today's world. So yeah, we've got some chai tea and a little bit of notes in front of me, and yeah, so like one of my very first memories that I have is, I think like my third or fourth birthday. It was in Central Park. I don't know if they still do this or not, but they had like a little kiddie stage, like a little theater stage. We watched a performance, and at the very end of it, I, like my little self, went out on stage with my mom in front of, all the guests, all the little kids, their parents, and I was terrified. Whoa. I did not like being seen, being looked at, being observed. I did not like all of these eyeballs on me at all. And this was when I was, 3 or 4 years old. So I feel like, and the fact that I remember this so like boldly in my mind, I feel like that sort of I just always had it in my mind like, okay, I'm shy, I am introverted, I don't like eyes on me, it makes me uncomfortable. But I think just through time and through just my passions and like my creative drive is just showing me something different and showing me that I do like being seen, and I do like connecting with people like you and like building a community and like just being a part of something. And in order to do that and be that, I had to get over this fear of being seen. So the very first thing that I did, and this is kind of in the grander scheme of my life, but I did start therapy. I feel like therapy is definitely like becoming more accepted, which is amazing. And you don't necessarily even need to have like a problem in your life to go to therapy. I feel like every single person comes out of childhood with trauma, whether they like it or not. It is what it is. So yeah, I ended up going to therapy. And we were doing a therapy called, I started therapy about 2 years ago now. Well, the intense kind of therapy that I've been in has been about 2 years. I'm super open just about like my battle with anxiety and depression. there was a peak that I reached, or like a rock bottom, whatever you want to call it, a couple years ago, and my body was tired of me, my mind was tired of me, I was tired of me, and I had to change something. So I started therapy. The type of therapy that I started is CBT therapy, which is like cognitive behavioral therapy. And basically like what that is, and this is like not like the actual like, you know, definition or whatever, but basically the point of it is to like rewire your brain after trauma. So going through certain types of trauma, or just trauma in general, your brain makes certain pathways that can limit you in life. It can limit you, meaning it can either keep you scared, you know, keep you fearful, keep you, it can keep you stuck. So trauma can keep you stuck if you don't process it. And I feel like I had a lot of trauma in my life that I just hadn't processed at all. I had a ton of like crazy repressed memories that have come up in the past couple of years. CBT therapy is not easy. It is not easy, okay? Like, I told my therapist, like, you know, in the thick of it, I feel like I'm starting to see the light. I'm starting to see the light after I've been through it for about 2 years. But you know, when you're in the thick of it and really processing your trauma, it honestly feels like, you know, if you like put like dirt in the bottom of like a mug or glass, and you put a cap on it and you just like shake that shit up, and it, you know, the clear water now turns to just like mud and yuck and grossness. Yeah. That's how I felt. That's how I felt for a long time. Months and months and months and months into years. Yeah, let's take a sip of tea to that, because yeah. However, even though it is not easy to, you know, do this type of therapy and like really work through and process your trauma, like I said, it rewires your brain. So you're talking to yourself different, you're making different decisions, you're straight up just moving different. Okay, in the best way possible, like in your best, everything is like best case scenario in regards to this decisions that you're making. And I feel like through this CBT therapy, like I have gotten to the root of why I have been afraid of being seen, and why I've had this like crazy anxiety around being seen, being looked at, even like being admired. Like all of those things brought me a lot of anxiety. And CBT therapy helped me immensely. Another thing that really, really helped me is meditation. So again, I was in a point where I was really, really struggling with anxiety and depression. There was a period for months where I had straight up insomnia. I was not sleeping at all. Yeah, I was straight up not sleeping. Like, it was horrible. And I'll tell you right now, the only thing, well, I guess it was a combination of things, but I feel like the one thing that like really, really, really helped me is this app. It's called the Balance app. I can like write it in the description. And this is obviously like not sponsored. This is a brand new channel, so definitely subscribe. But yeah, so the Balance app is super helpful. It honestly feels like a personal like meditation coach. Like, there's this guy who has this voice like butter, and he just like tells these like basically like essentially like night like bedtime stories almost. And you just drift off to sleep. Like, highly, highly, highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. Yeah. Another really big one is just like, again, just like getting to know myself and like really understanding what I want, who I am, and the way that I really got to that point where I do know who I am and what I want, and understand like what is in alignment for me, is like going on walks, like being in nature. Like, that gets me close to God, the universe, my higher self, like all of those things. Just being in nature helps that. So like, just to like switch gears for a moment, like if you're looking for a more tangible thing that you can do to really start getting used to either being on camera or talking to other people, what I did like while I'm doing all of these other things, which really, really, really helps me, is okay. When you first wake up and you are looking crusty and dusty. You are looking crusty and dusty. You know, you got your bonnet on, you got your eye booger. Listen, all that. Whip out your camera. Whip out your camera and record. Record without any expectations for posting it or for anybody even seeing this content. Just make the effort to be on screen and get comfortable looking crazy on screen. And that helped me, believe it or not. Like, that helped me. The expectation, removing the expectation of posting something helped me for about, I did that for about a year before I actually got on camera and started to post. I would just, make it a habit of waking up and like act like I'm vlogging or whatever. And yeah. Another thing that really, really helped me is watching what I eat. And this is a big one for me too, because, I do struggle with my weight and like, COVID, then I had a baby, and, it is what it is. I'm in a space where, I do feel comfortable with my body and I'm in love with my body. But I feel like there is a lot of stress and just like negativity in the weight that I had gained, and I'm ready to just like release it. I'm ready to release it. I don't really need it anymore. So that's what I'll be working on the next few months or so, just sort of gently releasing this weight. But aside from body image, I've noticed personally, and I actually heard this somewhere, I think like on TikTok or something, eating protein in the morning. Eating protein in the morning, a heavy protein meal, helps with anxiety. It helps. So if you have like a meeting or something that you are nervous about, and you know, you got that feeling in your tummy, and you're like, oh my God, like I'm scared. I know that feeling. And you don't really want to eat. Listen, I know all those things. You don't want to eat, but having that full protein meal, it does something, and it just kind of like evens you out. It evens you out. And it also just helps with your like hunger throughout the day. Like if you have your protein in the morning, you're not like eating, because this is my thing, like I eat a lot in the evening, whatever. Totally unrelated. But if you're expecting or anticipating a stressful day full of anxiety around being seen, just try it. Try to have some protein in the morning and see how you feel. And I think the very last thing that I did, just to focus on understanding me and understanding how I can get over this fear of being seen, is to have like a spiritual practice. And I don't necessarily mean like going to church or whatever. I mean like a practice that focuses on you and your goals and your self-care and everything that's about you. So I have like a big bottle of like lavender essential oil, and I kind of make it a ritual, like to just sort of pray over myself, my goals, my family, just like everything that I love, and make it a ritual. Like make it a ritual to praise yourself, and take care of yourself. I feel like a lot of like the energy around fear of being seen is, it's like a lack of confidence. It's a lack of, it's like a lack and fear energy. So how to like counteract that is just giving yourself love, 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 and abundance, abundance, abundance. So yeah, that's like one of the things that I did. And yeah, I think I'm gonna end right here, but I definitely am gonna continue on with this like series of just moving towards alignment and just being your best self and just connecting with your highest self. Like that's really what I want to focus on here. So please make sure to subscribe. I just am having a lot of fun just like sharing and talking with you guys. So again, thank you for being here, and I'll see you next time.